Hi there, and welcome back to Easy Peasy English, the podcast where we make English feel simple, natural, and part of your everyday life. I'm Christ, and I'm really glad you're joining me again today. Whether you're walking, relaxing, commuting, or studying, I'm here to keep you company and help you feel just a little more confident with your English journey. Here on Easy Peasy English, we don't chase perfection. We don't stress over grammar charts or memorizing long vocabulary lists. Instead, we focus on you, your mindset, your motivation, your daily wins, and your real-life progress. Because the truth is, learning English isn't just about what you know, it's also about how you feel. And today's topic is one I think many of you will really connect with. It's called, Why You Feel Lost, and What to Do. Maybe right now, you feel confused in your learning. Maybe you don't know what to study, or which method to follow. Maybe you've been learning English for months, or even years, but you're not seeing the progress you hoped for. You might feel stuck, unmotivated, or even like giving up. If that sounds like you, you're not alone. And more importantly, there is a way forward. In this episode, we're going to talk honestly about that lost feeling. Where it comes from. Why it happens. And most importantly, what you can do when you're in that space. Because feeling lost doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're human. And with a few small mindset shifts, you can find your way again. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's explore this together. Ready? Let's begin. Have you ever sat with your English book open in front of you, staring at the words, and feeling like, you just don't know what to do anymore? Maybe you've been studying for months, or even years, but you still feel stuck. Maybe your motivation has disappeared. Maybe you've stopped making progress. Or maybe, you don't even know why you're learning anymore. You feel lost. And hey, if you're feeling that way right now, I want you to hear this clearly, you're not alone. This feeling is more common than you think. Every learner, every single one, has moments when they feel directionless. Even advanced learners. Even people who already speak 3 or 4 languages. That lost feeling. It's not a failure. It's part of the journey. But why does it happen? Let's talk about it. Sometimes, you feel lost because your progress has slowed down. In the beginning, learning is exciting. You learn new words quickly. You feel like you're flying. Every day brings something new. But then, things get harder. You stop noticing improvement. You feel like you're walking in place. And you start asking yourself, what's the point? Other times, you feel lost because you're comparing yourself to others. You watch someone on YouTube speaking fluently, and you think, I'll never sound like that. You see someone else posting about studying 3 hours a day, and you feel guilty for doing just 15 minutes. You start thinking, maybe I'm not good enough. And sometimes, the reason is even deeper. You started learning English for a reason, but now that reason feels far away. Maybe you were learning for travel, but your plans changed. Maybe you wanted a job, but didn't get it. Or maybe you just forgot why you started. And now, every time you open a book or try to listen to a podcast, your heart says, why bother? That's the moment when learning feels heavy. Tiring. Confusing. But here's the truth I want to offer you today, feeling lost doesn't mean you failed. It means it's time to pause, breathe, and realign. Learning a language is not a straight line. It's full of curves, breaks, and moments where you question yourself. That's normal. It's not a sign to quit. It's a sign to look deeper, to reconnect with your reasons, your goals, and yourself. In the next part, We'll explore how to understand this feeling, so you can take small, kind steps forward, even when your brain feels foggy and your heart feels tired. You don't have to solve everything today. You just need to keep going gently, with honesty. Let's move forward together. So, we talked about how feeling lost is a normal part of the learning journey. Now, let's look a little deeper at why this happens. What's really going on inside when you feel confused, tired, or disconnected from your English? Let me ask you something. Have you ever been walking in a city, following a map or your GPS, and suddenly your location on the screen freezes? Or it says, recalculating, and you have no idea which way to turn. That's what feeling lost in English feels like. It's not that you've forgotten everything. It's not that you don't care. It's just, your inner GPS needs a moment to catch up. You've been walking, moving, learning. But now your brain is asking, wait, where am I? Am I even going in the right direction? Here's the good news, this moment of confusion is actually useful. It's your mind's way of saying, hey, let's check the map. Let's slow down and look around. Let's figure out where we are and where we want to go. But of course, that's easier said than done, right? Because when you feel lost, your emotions get heavy. You might feel frustrated, I've worked so hard. Why am I still struggling? Guilty, I should be further by now. Ashamed, other people are doing better than me. Tired, I don't even want to study anymore. These feelings are real. They're powerful. And if we don't deal with them, they grow bigger. That's why the first thing to do when you feel lost is simple but important: be kind to yourself. Don't jump into action. Don't force yourself to fix the problem immediately. Start by saying, okay. I'm lost. That's okay. Let me just sit with that for a minute. You see, sometimes when we feel lost, it's not about English at all. It's about life. Stress, pressure, disappointment, or burnout from work, school, or personal life can show up in your learning too. So if your energy is low, your motivation is gone, and you can't seem to move forward, it might be your mind and body asking for rest, not more effort. And rest is not weakness. Let me repeat that, rest is not weakness. It's part of the journey. Think of your English journey like a long hike. There are hills, forests, rivers to cross. Sometimes, you need to stop, take off your backpack, drink some water, and just breathe. That doesn't mean you've quit. It means you're getting ready to keep going. In the next part, we'll talk about small actions, gentle, simple steps you can take when you feel lost. Not big changes. Not new plans. Just small movements that help you feel grounded and give your journey a new sense of direction. Because when you feel lost, you don't need to run. You just need to reconnect, with your heart, your reason, and the next tiny step forward. Let's keep going together. So, you've paused. You've accepted the feeling of being lost. You've been kind to yourself. That's powerful. That's brave. Now let's talk about what to do next, how to start moving again without feeling overwhelmed. Because here's the thing, when people feel lost, they often try to fix everything at once. They say, I'll restart from the beginning. Or, I'll study for 3 hours a day now. Or, I need to change my whole routine. But those big changes rarely work when your heart feels heavy. What you need instead are gentle steps. Small actions that don't scare you. Things that remind your brain, hey, we're still moving. It's okay. Let me share a few examples of what these gentle steps can look like. 1. Reconnect with something easy and enjoyable. Go back to something in English that feels light and fun. Not grammar books or test prep, something that makes you smile. Maybe it's a funny YouTube video in English. Maybe it's listening to a podcast while walking. Maybe it's rewatching your favorite English movie with subtitles. One learner I know, Anna from Brazil, told me she stopped studying for 2 months. She felt totally lost. One day, she just watched an old episode of Friends. No pressure. No notebook. Just for fun. And suddenly, the spark came back. She started laughing. She remembered why she loved English. That small step helped her begin again. 2. Reflect, don't judge. Take out a piece of paper and write this sentence, right now, I feel, and complete it. Then add, what I need is. Sometimes, writing helps us discover things we didn't know were inside us. You might realize that you feel lost not because of English, but because life is stressful. Or maybe you'll discover that your old way of studying doesn't fit your life anymore. Whatever you write, don't judge it. Just listen to yourself. 3. Find one tiny action to do today. Don't plan a whole new schedule. Just choose one small thing that feels gentle. Here are some examples. Listen to a 5-minute English story. Learn one new phrasal verb and use it in a sentence. Send a voice message to a friend in English. Watch a short video and repeat some phrases out loud. One learner from Vietnam told me, when I feel lost, I just write 3 sentences in English every morning. Nothing big. Just, good morning. I feel sleepy today. I hope I can do my best. That's it. But after a week, she noticed, hey, I'm writing again. I'm thinking in English again. It's these quiet, simple moves that help you find your rhythm again. And here's something else to remember, you don't need to feel 100% ready to start again. You don't need to feel confident. Or focused. Or perfect. You can begin again while still feeling a little confused. You can take action even if your heart is still tired. In fact, that's one of the most powerful things you can do. Because action creates clarity. Movement builds confidence. Even small, simple steps show your brain, we're not stuck. We're moving. Sometimes, even after you start moving again, even after you take a few small steps, the fog doesn't lift right away. You still feel unclear. You still feel unsure. You think to yourself, am I even going in the right direction? That's what I call the fog stage. It's when you're doing the work, but you can't see the results yet. You're showing up, but you still feel uncertain. You keep asking, is this even working? And this is where most people give up. Not because they're weak. But because walking through fog feels scary. It feels like you're walking, but not arriving. Let me tell you something powerful, this is completely normal. The fog stage happens in almost every journey, especially language learning. Let me tell you a story about a learner named Omar. Omar is from Egypt. He started learning English seriously 2 years ago. At first, he was super motivated. He studied 1 hour every day. He watched TED Talks. He listened to podcasts. He even started writing in a journal. But after 6 months, he hit the fog. He felt like nothing was improving. He wasn't getting faster. His speaking still felt slow. He couldn't remember vocabulary. He told me, I feel like I'm walking in circles. But guess what? He kept walking. He didn't study more. He didn't force himself. He just kept doing his small routine. 5 minutes of listening. A little writing. Speaking with a friend once a week. And then, one day, he joined a Zoom meeting at work. He introduced himself. He answered questions. He made a joke. And people laughed. Not because his English was bad, but because it was good. Natural. Clear. That moment didn't come from a huge study session. It came from walking through the fog, even when he couldn't see the destination. That's the truth about the learning journey, you get stronger in the fog. When things are easy, you don't grow. When you keep going while it's hard, that's where the real strength comes in. So what can you do in the fog? Here are a few ideas that help many learners. 1. Track your effort, not your results. Instead of asking, "Did I improve today?" ask, "Did I show up today?" Because some days, your brain will be slow. Some days, you'll feel stuck. But if you keep showing up, even in small ways, your progress is still happening. You just don't see it yet. Try using a small notebook or app where you track simple things. Listen to 10 minutes of English audio. Wrote 2 sentences in English. Learned 1 new word. Spoke to myself in the mirror. Each check mark is a win. Each mark is proof, you're still moving. 2. Build a compass, not a map. A map tells you the exact path. But when you're lost, maps don't always help. What you need is a compass, a sense of direction. Your compass might be, I want to feel confident speaking with others. I want to understand movies without subtitles. I want to apply for an international job. That's your North Star. Even if the road is twisty, you're still going the right way if you're heading toward that star. 3. Celebrate the small things. You didn't stop learning. That's worth celebrating. You listened today, celebrate that. You made a mistake and kept going. That's courage. Celebrate it. We often ignore these small wins, but they matter. Because your brain needs evidence that you're doing well. Give it that proof. Daily. And here's one more thing to remember, when you feel lost, it doesn't mean you're broken. When things feel unclear, it doesn't mean you're behind. It just means you're in the middle of the story. And stories take time. Let's stop for a second and think about something that might surprise you. Feeling lost can actually be a gift. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's confusing. But sometimes, feeling lost is the only way we start asking better questions. The only way we pause and say, wait. What really matters to me? It's in those moments of confusion that we often find something new, something more honest and more aligned with who we are. Let me share a story about Emma. Emma is a listener of this podcast. She lives in Vietnam and started learning English to get a job in tourism. She took classes. She followed a grammar book. She passed some exams. But one day, she realized she didn't enjoy it anymore. She felt bored. Lost. Disconnected. She messaged me and said, "I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. I feel like I'm wasting time." So I asked her, "What makes you feel alive when you use English?" After a few minutes, she replied, "I like talking to travelers. I love hearing their stories." And that was it. She didn't need more textbooks. She didn't need more pressure. She needed connection. Now, Emma runs a small English-speaking walking tour in her city. She doesn't have perfect grammar. But she communicates with confidence. She laughs with people. She helps them discover her culture. And she's proud. If she never felt lost, she might have never stopped to ask that deeper question. So if you feel lost right now, maybe it's not a failure. Maybe it's an invitation. An invitation to pause. To reflect. To reconnect. Use this feeling as fuel. Instead of fighting the lost feeling, try this. 1. Get curious. Ask yourself, what parts of English feel fun to me? When do I feel most connected while learning? What kind of English do I want to use in my real life? Write your answers. Speak them out loud. Explore them slowly. Because those answers are your compass. 2. Let go of the perfect plan. Sometimes we feel lost because we're trying to follow someone else's path. Maybe a YouTuber told you to study 3 hours a day. Maybe a teacher gave you a strict plan. Maybe your friend is learning faster than you. But here's the truth, you don't need their plan. You need your rhythm. Try this instead, pick one small daily habit that feels gentle. Let yourself enjoy the process. Adjust as needed. No guilt. 3. Speak kindly to yourself. Being lost is not weakness. It's a sign that you're moving. Learning. Questioning. So talk to yourself like a good friend would, it's okay to feel confused. I'm still learning, even now. I don't have to have all the answers today. This soft voice helps your brain relax. And when your brain is relaxed, it learns better. The truth is, being lost is part of every meaningful journey. Every writer hits a blank page. Every artist gets stuck on a painting. Every athlete questions their direction. And every English learner, yes, even you, will sometimes wonder, am I good enough? But in those moments, you are learning something deeper: patience, resilience, self-trust. These are the tools that will carry you forward, not just in English, but in life. So here's your gentle reminder: you are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. Keep walking, even in the fog. Keep listening to that small voice inside you. Keep trusting that this feeling will not last forever. Because it won't. Clarity comes. Slowly, quietly. But it comes. Let's talk about one of the biggest reasons why you might feel lost on your English journey. It's not your grammar. It's not your accent. It's not your vocabulary. It's comparison. You start scrolling on social media. You see someone speaking fluently on TikTok. You hear a classmate using big words. You meet someone who seems more confident than you. And suddenly, that quiet voice inside you says, I'm not good enough. I'm too slow. I'm so behind. Let's pause here for a second. Have you felt that? That tight, heavy feeling in your chest when you compare yourself to someone else. It's a terrible feeling. And the worst part is, it doesn't help you improve. It just makes you feel small. But here's the thing, you're not them. And they're not you. Every learner is on their own timeline. There's a story I love about two people running a marathon. One person runs fast, finishes early. The other walks slowly, takes their time, stops to breathe. At the end, both of them crossed the finish line. Both of them completed the race. One wasn't better than the other. They just had different rhythms. That's the same with learning English. Some people grow fast. Some people grow quietly. Some people speak a lot. Some people listen deeply. You don't have to match someone else's pace to be successful. Your journey is your own. Social media isn't real life. Let's be honest, what you see online is just a highlight reel. You see 30 seconds of someone speaking fluently. You don't see the 3 years they practiced behind the scenes. You don't see the frustration they felt when they couldn't remember a word. You don't see their self-doubt, their anxiety, their quiet practice at home. It's easy to forget that every fluent speaker started as a beginner. Yes, every single one. Even that confident teacher on YouTube. Even that smiling influencer. Even me. We all had days when we said, "I can't do this." But we kept going. And you can too. Comparison kills motivation. Let me tell you what comparison really does. It doesn't push you forward. It makes you freeze. You start feeling bad. You stop practicing. You avoid speaking. You wait longer and longer. Until one day, you feel completely stuck. Comparison is like carrying a heavy backpack full of someone else's goals. It's not yours. So take it off. Let it go. And ask yourself, what do I want to do today? What feels meaningful to me? Even if that means reading one paragraph. Even if that means watching one episode with subtitles. Even if that means repeating one sentence out loud. It still counts. It still matters. Because it's your step forward. Real progress feels slow. We often think progress should feel fast and exciting. Like, I studied 5 hours today. I learned 100 words. But the real, deep progress? It often feels boring. Ordinary. Invisible. It looks like listening to a podcast during your walk. Writing your feelings in a journal. Saying one sentence to your coworker in English. Noticing you understood one more word than yesterday. That's not failure. That's growth. You don't have to speak like someone else to feel proud. You just need to notice your small victories. A new way to see yourself. So instead of comparing, try this gentle shift: compare yourself to your past self. Last month, could you understand this podcast? Last year, could you write a full sentence in English? 2 years ago, did you even have the courage to start learning? Look at how far you've come. Seriously, look. You are not standing still. You're moving. You're learning. You're trying. That's something to celebrate. And if you're feeling a little lost right now, I hope this episode helped you feel just a bit more understood, and a bit more hopeful. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take one small step. Then another. Then another. And little by little, things will start to feel clearer. Your confidence will grow. Your English will improve. And one day, you'll look back and realize, I didn't give up. I found my way. That's what I want for you. Not perfection. Not fast results. Just that quiet moment when you realize, I'm stronger than I thought. And I kept going. So thank you for spending this time with me today. Even listening to this podcast is a step forward. It means you care. It means you're still trying. And that matters so much. I hope today's episode gave you something helpful to hold on to, and maybe even a little comfort if you've been feeling stuck. You don't need a map. You just need movement. And you've got this. If you enjoyed this episode, I hope you'll come back next time. We'll keep exploring the emotional side of language learning together, how to stay motivated, how to build confidence, and how to make English part of your real, everyday life. Until then, take care of yourself. Be kind. Be patient. And remember, feeling lost is just a sign that you're still moving. See you in the next episode of Easy Peasy English.